Students, it's me, Rashid Ayub, Professor of Mathematics. Today our topic is the differentiation. The other name of the differentiation is derivative. What does it mean the derivative? It is called the rate of change of one variable to another variable. If I write a function y is equal to f of x, let's suppose with the variable x cube or with the function x cube or any other function, one of the example of the function, and I take the derivative of this function dy over dx. So it means change in y with respect to x, where y is dependent and x is independent variable. So change in dependent variable with respect to independent variable. This is called the derivative. Okay. As I told you that y is equal to f of x. फंक्शन को लिखने का मैथड किसने बताया? एलर इज अ स्विस मैथमेटिशियन. फंक्शन को फर्स्ट टाइम इंट्रोड्यूस किसने करवाया? लेबनीज. The word of function is first time used by the Leibniz, and the mathematical equation of how we can write a function in this form, it is invented by the Euler, which is the Swiss mathematician. Okay, so this is the definition of the derivative, simple definition of the derivative. So throughout the world you can check all the application of the derivative you will find. Look all those things which are changing. So it means जो भी आपके पास चीज तब्दील हो रही है या उसमें कमी ज्यादा जो भी हो रहा है वो डेरिवेटिव का मतलब फंक्शन आ गया, एप्लीकेशन आ गई. अब आप देखिए एवरेज रेट ऑफ चेंज क्या है. What is average rate of change? f of x2 minus f of x, x2 minus x1, where x1, x2 belongs to domain of the function. जरूरी है कि जो फंक्शन की डोमेन है उसी से आपने x1, x2 लेना है. So this is what average rate of change. Okay, अगर मैं कहूँ जी f of x is equal to x cube और डोमेन में दे दूँ जी 1 से 5, तो मैं कहता हूँ जी एवरेज रेट ऑफ चेंज निकाले इसकी. तो आप इसके दो एलिमेंट ले लीजिए, f of 2 or 3 belongs to interval 1, 5. So f of x2 minus f of x1 divided by x2 minus x1. So this is the average rate of change. Okay, it is given to you that x1 and x2, which is belong to the domain of the function. So this is what example of this average rate of change. What is the definition of the differentiation? This is the first definition of the differentiation, the basic definition of the differentiation. F prime x is the first derivative equal to limit x approaches to 0. You can also use by h replaced by delta x or delta theta or delta z, which variable you are used or which variable involved into the function. So you will use that variable. Okay, here I am using the h, where h is a very small quantity approaches to 0. f of x plus h minus f of x ratio h. Okay, this is the definition of the derivative, or another name of the derivative is differentiation, as I told you. So it is basically find out using the ab initio method. So this is what this is AB method or ab initio, or by definition, or you can say that another one is first principle. So these are the three names of the derivative. Okay, four-step method is another name. So if you want to find out the derivative, this is a simple or basic method. Anyone asks to you the basic using find out the derivative of function, using ab initio method using first principle, using by definition, or using four-step method. So this is the result of four-step method, Exponential method, by definition, first principle to find out the derivative. Okay, now next is the derivative at a point. If you want to find out the derivative at a particular point, okay, then you have definition, this one. Otherwise, you have also direct method to find out the derivative at a particular point. But this is detailed method or basic method through which you go to the direct method. Okay, ये basic method है, ये derivative की basic definition है. आगे जितनी भी आपने direct method पढ़ने हैं वो यहीं से आप find out करके वहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं. If you want to find out the derivative of using the theorem, power theorem या power law, अगर आप यूज करेंगे तो पावर लॉस भी क्या है, Exponential मेथड आप उस पर अप्लाई करते हो. Exponential मेथड अप्लाई करने के बाद पावर लॉ आपके पास आता है, फिर आप उसका डेरिवेटिव फाइंड आउट करते हो और फिर एक रूल डिफाइन हो जाता है. ओके, अगर आपके पास xn है, where belongs to question number, so this is also very important MCQs, and you want to find out the derivative of this. If anyone asks you take the derivative of this function using Exponential method, so you have four-step method, and you know that. And I'm not going towards that method because we are want to discuss our lecture for the entrance exams. So it is not necessary for us that we should mention to solve that method in our lectures. Okay, so it is necessary that n belongs to rational number. We should know, all of us, that n belongs to rational number. It appears number of times in the board examination. Okay, so you get the result dy over dx and xn minus 1 and dx over dx. So you get this result. How? Using this method, Exponential method, using by definition method, using first principle. So you get all the direct result of the derivative of the different function using this method. Okay, the next is the derivative at a point. So you can use this method, and so many scientists use a different notation for express the derivative. So first of all, which used in the different books all throughout the world. So the four famous scientists we have, even you can make your own notation and you can publish your notation throughout the world. So these are the four main scientists which express or indicate the notation of the derivative. Which appear in different books of mathematics. LUMS indicate the derivative notation dy over dx or df over dx, because according to the Swiss mathematician, y is equal to f of x, so you can replace y is equal to f. So dy over dx or df over. And the second one is a Newton. Newton indicate dot. So this is dot here. If you want to take the derivative of any function, you explain the dot. And Lagrange, a very famous scientist. So it indicates the derivative prime. Okay, what is it? Cauchy. Cauchy indicate the derivative of any function, capital D. Okay, now we have a few rules, basic rules for the derivative. That if you want to take the derivative of constant function, okay, I will solve that. Y is equal to c, and you want to take the derivative dy over dx. So constant derivative of constant is 0. Why? Because if you want to draw a graph for the constant function y equal to c, and c is positive, then it is a graph of this constant function. So you can see here, it is a straight line. There is no change at all in the line. So it means if there is no change, it means there is no existence of the derivative. So derivative will be 0. According to the definition of the derivative, there should be a change. If there is no change, it means there is no derivative. So graph indicates that there is a straight line, there is no curved path, irregular path, so it means the derivative of constant function is 0. So this is the basic concept why the derivative is 0, because of this constant function, because there is no change in the graph for straight line. Okay, the next is if y is equal to kf of x and you want to take the derivative dy over dx, constant become outside and you take the derivative what is inside the function. तो जो constant मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा होगा वो डेरिवेटिव से बाहर आ जाएगा, तो बाकी आपने उसका डेरिवेटिव ले लेना. फॉर एग्जांपल 3x square and you want to take the derivative. Now I will use the direct method. There is no more for the ratio method. Constant become outside. What is the derivative of x square? It is 2x. So this is 6x. You can write here 6x as well. So now you also know if there is a two function which add or subtract and you want to take the derivative of these functions. So it will be separate. So here is not x, here is f over dx. Okay. If there is a function which are multiplying each other and you want to take the derivative, and this function are the variable of x, and if you want to take the derivative, so this is what derivative of the first function, second remains as it is, plus take the derivative of the first as it is, take the derivative of the second function. Okay, you can see here, if there is a function x sin x and you want to take the derivative, so take the derivative of first function, that is 1, second remains as it is, plus first as it is, take the derivative of the second, cos x into 1, that is the derivative of its angle. Okay, so this is you can simplify it. So this is what product law. Next is a quotient law. What is quotient law you have? If there is a two function which is in form of the ratio and you want to take the derivative of both functions, when it is in, they are the form in the ratio. Okay, take the derivative. G square takes care of the function which appeared as a denominator. Okay, as it is, take the derivative of the first function which appeared as a numerator. ऊपर वाले का डेरिवेटिव आप ऐसे भी कह सकते हैं, माइनस ऊपर वाला फंक्शन एज इट इज और नीचे वाले का डेरिवेटिव. यू कैन कॉल इट लाइक दिस. ओके, ये आपके पास क्वेश्चन. ओके, इफ यू वांट टू टेक द डेरिवेटिव ऑफ x over sin x, so you can use the quotient theorem. What is the quotient theorem? That is sin x whole square, sin x as it is. What is the derivative of x? 1 minus x as it is. What is the derivative of sin x? That is nothing but cos x dot 1. So you can simplify it. This is the quotient law. Okay. Next, I'm going to discuss. The next topic is the chain rule. What is the chain rule? If you have two functions y f of x, u g of x. If you want to find out the derivative dy over dx, यानी कि आपके पास क्या है जी, एफ ऑफ एक्स डेरिवेटिव का डेरिवेटिव होना चाहिए यू के लिहाज से, आगे यू का डेरिवेटिव एग्जिस्ट करना चाहिए एक्स के लिहाज से, यानी कि वाई और यू दोनों डिफरेंशिएबल होने चाहिए. सो y is equal to f of x, u equal to g of x. If you want to apply the chain rule, and dy over du dot du over dx, जहाँ पे एंड हुआ वहीं से स्टार्ट हो गया. इसके लिए मेरी वीडियो मौजूद है यूट्यूब चैनल पे. डेरिवेटिव पे काफी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन मैंने सॉल्व भी करवाया है कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग हर वीडियो के, तो आप लाजमी वो विजिट कर लीजिएगा. मैं ग्रुप में सेंड भी कर दूंगा लिंक इसका. नेक्स्ट वी हैव पैरामीट्रिक इक्वेशन. व्हाट इज अ पैरामीट्रिक इक्वेशन? जब भी आपके पास, मैंने कल भी मतलब लास्ट लेक्चर में बताया था कि पैरामीट्रिक इक्वेशंस होती क्या है. जब x और y किसी थर्ड वेरिएबल पे डिपेंड कर जाए तो वो पैरामीट्रिक इक्वेशंस होती है. नेक्स्ट देखिए, x is equal to f of t, y equal to g of t, and you want to take the derivative dy over dx. लेकिन वेरिएबल कौन सा है? t. आप डेरिवेटिव इसमें ले रहे हैं x के लिहाज से, तो यही पैरामीट्रिक इक्वेशन है. आपने y का डेरिवेटिव x के लिहाज से लेना है, लेकिन y और x दोनों t के हैं फंक्शन. तो इसकी शॉर्ट टेक्निक क्या है? डायरेक्ट मेथड आपके पास है, ये ट्रिक है आपके पास जी. ओके, इस ट्रिक के तहत क्या है जी, वो आपने g का मतलब dy over dt ले, रेशियो ले dx over dt. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल x is equal to sin square t, y is equal to cos t. So this is what parametric equation, and I want to find out the derivative dy over dx. तो इसका मतलब क्या है? ऊपर y का डेरिवेटिव ले, it is not x, it is t. What is the derivative of cos t? Minus sin t. और एंगल का डेरिवेटिव t क्या है? क्योंकि आपने देखिए t के लिहाज से लेना है, dy over dt. Okay, divided by, and I want to find out the derivative x with respect to t. तो t के लिहाज से सो सिंपल, पावर थ्योरम अप्लाई करें, पावर पीछे, पावर में एक कम, पावर के अंदर जो कुछ है उसका डेरिवेटिव, व्हाट इज द डेरिवेटिव ऑफ sin t, दैट इज cos t, और एंगल का डेरिवेटिव 1 आपके पास आ गया। अब अगर कैंसिल करना चाहते हैं कर दें, -1/2 cos t। So this is the required result, dy by dx. Okay, this is the parametric equation. I have given so many example in my video, parametric equation. So next is the derivative of the implicit function. What is derivative of the implicit function? This is a short trick. Basically, I have made a complete video on this implicit function. First of all, I will explain the partial derivative. If there is a function, let's suppose x square plus y square plus 2xy, and this is a function of x and y, both variables x and y, and I want to find out the derivative just with respect to x, not with respect to y. So partial derivative, it is a partial derivative. It can be written as f of x as well. F of x means it is a derivative of this function with respect to variable x. Okay, what is the derivative of x square? 2x. So this is y, and I want to find out the derivative with respect to x. So this y become a constant function. The derivative of this quantity will be 0. Now, what will be the result of this? If you take the derivative with respect to x, so 2y become outside because it is a constant quantity. The derivative of x with respect to x is 1. So this is the required result. Okay, if you want to find out the derivative with respect to y, so partial y or partial x, partial y. So x is a constant quantity now because you are going to take the derivative with respect to y. So x become a constant quantity, the derivative of x will be 0, but the derivative of y square will be 2y, and 2x become constant, and the derivative of y with respect to y is 1. So this is what? This is the partial derivative with respect to y. And you see that the same result for the x. What is partial and partial x? That is 2x plus 2y. So you can see it. So this being partial over partial, y is equal to partial. It is not in all type of the question, but it depends upon the function, nature of the function. So here I explain another MCQ, another type of the MCQs. Okay, the next हमारे पास है, अब इसी को इस्तेमाल करेंगे। अब आपने अगर इसका डेरिवेटिव निकालना है, if you want to find out the derivative of this function f of x y, तो आपको प्रोडक्ट थ्योरम लगाना पड़ेगा, पावर थ्योरम लगाना पड़ेगा, लेकिन जरूरत ही नहीं है इस चीज की। आप डायरेक्ट ये मेथड अप्लाई करें, दैट इज इक्वल टू dy over dx or df over dx, yes, dy over dx. Take the derivative of this equation with respect to x. Okay, it becomes 6x. With respect to x, 2y constant. So 2y just because the derivative of x with respect to x के लिहाज से डेरिवेटिव 1 हो गया, x के लिहाज से ये 0 constant है. Okay, next नेगेटिव साइन लगाएंगे ऊपर ड्यू टू दिस. Okay, what is the derivative of a function with respect to y? Okay, this is a constant quantity, becomes 0 with respect to y. 2x is a constant, y का y के लिहाज से 1 प्लस y स्क्वायर का डेरिवेटिव 2y, 4 का डेरिवेटिव 0. So this is the required derivative. आपने देखा मैंने इंतहाई शॉर्टकट मेथड से इसको सॉल्व कर दिया. नेक्स्ट हमारे पास है जी डेरिवेटिव ऑफ फंक्शन विद रिस्पेक्ट टू अनदर फंक्शन, अनदर ट्रिक. ओके, अगर आपने x क्यूब का डेरिवेटिव लेना विद रिस्पेक्ट टू x4 का डेरिवेटिव लेना विद रिस्पेक्ट टू x क्यूब, तो बहुत आसान है ये. पहले आप फंक्शन का डेरिवेटिव ले f का, और फिर तब जिसके लिहाज से ले रहे उसको बाद में लिखें. व्हाट इज द डेरिवेटिव? अगर ये f हो गया विद रिस्पेक्ट टू x क्यूब, तो ये g हो गया. व्हाट इज द डेरिवेटिव ऑफ x4? दैट इज 4x3. व्हाट इज द डेरिवेटिव ऑफ x क्यूब? 3x square. So it is what? Derivative of a function f with respect to function g. Okay, you can write it as well, d over dx. So if you want to make it simplify, you want to do simplify, so 4/3 and x cube, x square, simple x. So this is the required answer. Now student, we have some standard derivative of different function. First, logarithm function. Okay, here is a log, natural log, because a log with base e is called a natural log and it can be written as ln. Okay, if there is a function and you want to take the derivative log f of x, and you want to take the derivative of this type of function, so it is nothing but 1 over f of x, and you should take the derivative what is inside the log. For example, if you want to take the derivative of x cube plus 5, then you want to take the derivative, it means the derivative of this is 1 over x cube plus 5 and 3x square, and the derivative of 5 0 because it is a constant quantity. Okay, another example, log of x plus sin x. So derivative of this function nothing but x plus sin x, and what is the derivative of x? 1. What is the derivative of sin x? That is cos x into 1. So this is the derivative of the log function, and if there is a function log with base a and the function x, so what is the derivative of this type of the function? For example, okay, we have a function log base 10 and that is sin x. So what is the derivative of this type of the function? 1 over x means what is here in the, what is the function inside the log? That is x. So here is sin x, so 1 over sin x. What is the base here? So 1 by 10. Log with log. So this is the derivative, and if you want to find out the derivative, let's suppose log base a x and 1 over x. Okay, here is a and I can replace it 2x, 1 over x here, or you can say that sin x. You should take, okay, I already taken cos x, so it is what? Cos x and 1 over log. And if there is a function x square, then 1 over x square and 1 over log of a, what is the derivative of this function? 2x. So this is the derivative of this type of function. I have made already video on the topic of this log function. So you should watch on my YouTube channel. Okay, and that is what? 1 over x, 1 over log of a. The derivative of the exponential function. Okay, if there is a function e x sin x, what is the derivative of this type of the function? Okay, as it is. And the derivative of the exponent. What is exponent? X sin x. So you can use here the product theorem. Ex sin x, derivative of the first function, second as it is, plus derivative of the second function and first as it is. First as it is, derivative of first function with the derivative of its angle. Okay, this is the derivative of the exponential function. Okay. If there is a function e log of x and you want to take the derivative, then it is just x, derivative of x will be 1. E and log are anti each other. Okay, what is the derivative of exponential function? When base is a constant, let's suppose 5x, and you want to take the derivative of this function. So it is what? As it is. What is base? Log 5. Okay. If there is a 3 sin x and you want to find out the derivative as it is, and derivative of the exponent, we want to take the derivative as it is, derivative of the exponent, that is cos x 1, and what is base? 3. So you can write here log 3. So this is the required result. So I told you different type of the function when it is appeared in the form of ax. और ये याद रखिएगा, इस टाइप पे लाजमी सवाल कोई ना कोई बोर्ड में एग्जामिनेशन में तो हर साल तकरीबन MCQ से बन के आता है एक ही फॉर्म में, तो ये भी आपको पता होना चाहिए. Okay, next we have derivative of the absolute function. What is the derivative of absolute function? So we have derivative of absolute function is x mod over x. Now there is a two cases. If x greater than 0, if x less than 0. If x greater than 0, then x mod become x. Derivative is 1. If x less than 0, x mod become minus x over x. It is minus 1. So derivative of x absolute 1 when greater than 0 and less than 0, it is minus 1. इसमें भी मेरी वीडियो बनी हुई है, ये भी आप देख सकते हैं. Different absolute functions, not only x absolute, x minus 1, x minus 2. Okay, this is also important function. If you take it y is equal to x raised to power x, here I have a technique and I explained it in my YouTube channel, and that I will share the link as well of this video of such type of the function. आपने एफएससी में क्या पढ़ा होगा? क्या आपने पढ़ा होगा कि दोनों तरफ लॉग अप्लाई करो, फिर ये पीछे चला जाता है लॉग की प्रॉपर्टी इस्तेमाल होके, फिर आप डेरिवेटिव लेते हैं 1/y dy/dx, इस पे प्रोडक्ट थ्योरम लगा देते हैं, तो फिर आपके पास बन जाता है जी y log of x प्लस x और सॉरी और ये y की वैल्यू क्या है जी x रेज़ टू पावर x. तो ये और ये देखिए सेम हो गया. अगर आप यहाँ पे y की वैल्यू पुट कर दें तो ये इक्वल टू क्या होगा जी dy/dx. तो इसकी टेक्निक है, शॉर्ट टेक्निक है. ये क्वेश्चन बड़ी दफा है जी log of x रेज़ टू पावर log of x क्या होता है, sin x रेज़ टू पावर cos x क्या होता है जी, इसका डेरिवेटिव पूछा जा सकता है जी. इसके साथ मैं डेरिवेटिव अप्लाई कर देता हूँ dy/dx, इसके साथ डेरिवेटिव अप्लाई कर देता हूँ. तो आपके पास इतना टाइम नहीं होता कि आप उसको डिटेल में सॉल्व करें ना. आपके पास कोई आंसर शीट इतनी बड़ी होती है, बस छोटी सी आंसर शीट होती है जिससे बल्कि अब तो ऑनलाइन है. तो अब आप देखिए कि आपके पास ये जो मेथड है, मतलब मैंने वीडियो बनाई हुई, मैं लिंक शेयर करूँगा तो आप लाजमी देख लीजिएगा, क्योंकि हमारे पास यहाँ पे टाइम कम है. मैं उसी टाइम में यूटिलाइज करूँगा जो भी आपको यूटिलाइज करूँगा. और थोड़ी सी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ इन द एंड ऑफ दिस वीडियो, दैट इज फर्स्ट, इफ f and g differentiable function, then f plus minus g differentiable, f into g differentiable, f over g is differentiable. यानी कि अगर आपके पास f भी डेरिवेटिव उसका एग्जिस्ट करता है, g का डेरिवेटिव भी एग्जिस्ट करता है, तो रिस्पेक्टिव डोमेन ये लिख लें, इन देयर रिस्पेक्टिव डोमेन, ये डोमेन से बाहर की बात नहीं कर रही मैं, विद इन द डोमेन डेरिवेटिव एग्जिस्ट करना चाहिए. अगर f और g का विद इन द डोमेन डेरिवेटिव एग्जिस्ट करता है, रिस्पेक्टिव डोमेन में एग्जिस्ट करता है, तो f प्लस g का डेरिवेटिव भी एग्जिस्ट करेगा, डिफरेंशिएबल होगा, f माइनस g भी डिफरेंशिएबल होगा, f डॉट g भी डिफरेंशिएबल होगा, प्रोडक्ट रूल लगाए, और क्वोशंट थ्योरम f ओवर g भी डिफरेंशिएबल होगा. नेक्स्ट ये बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट बात है जी जो मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ जी, इफ f is differentiable at particular point x is equal to a, then f is continuous as well. But if f is continuous, then it is not necessary f is differentiable at that point at x is equal to a. F is differentiable. So this is the end of the first part of the second chapter, differentiable. Thank you very much.